If you're wanting a road trip summer but are feeling completely overwhelmed by the idea of planning it, then I have something that's going to be a total game changer for you. Hey, I'm Jo from Traverse the World, and my mission is to get you outside, having adventures, and turning someday into today. I've done 6 road trips across 3 continents, ranging from mini 4-day little trips to 2-week adventures that have gone mostly successfully.
We've got another day, because we dropped the van back on Sunday.
I don't remember. I used the spreadsheet and was seeing the days and hadn't counted in for the fact that we skipped loads of it.
Is it because you're using the screenshot of the thing, not the version that's changed and updated?
No, because you haven't sent me that version. So I just have the original old screenshot you sent me.
After a mishap in the States, I've doubled down and now religiously use the super cool software that I'm going to show you today to plan road trips so that you too can get outside, have adventures and have fun. I've just recently done the NC500 and I want to show you the 3 websites that are living in my browser when it comes to planning a road trip. Google Maps, Park for Night or Pitch Up if you're planning to camp, and Wilder Trips. I love planning a good adventure. As I said, I've done multiple trips across multiple countries, multiple continents. There's something about a road trip that is just the best way to see somewhere as quickly as possible with as little amount of time and it still feel fun. So this is what my Google Maps look like whenever we're planning a road trip somewhere. It's full of pins and saved places that I found on Instagram, watching other people's YouTubes, reading blogs. Like, I absolutely love trying to find all the best places to visit. And when I do find them all, so that I don't forget, I'll save them all in a Google Maps list. This is a combination of touristy things, outdoorsy things like hikes and waterfalls, and then just like some saved pins to make sure that we definitely take the right route and we're definitely on the NC500. I found the park apps on Park for Night. It's really easy. You can just Google where you want to go, search it, and then you can find literally thousands of park apps for you to visit. If you want, I can do a whole separate video on how I use Park for Night to find places to camp up, and then Pitch Up for camping. If that's something you're interested in, do let me know and I'm happy to make a video about that as well. When I used to plan road trips, it very much used to be from A to B, from B to C, from C to D. It used to be very stop-starty. It didn't feel like it had a flow. It didn't feel like it fit together very neatly. Like, you're always like adding destinations and then clicking them in and then clicking them in, and like it just feels really clunky, and then it doesn't save it, so then you have to take a screenshot at the end of it so that you don't lose it. And I used to get so fed up with planning road trips because it became such a laborious task to try and do so. So as you can see from my Google Maps so far, I have maxed out. So I've still got loads of pins that I want to plan here and put them into my trip, but I can't because I've maxed out. And that is something that frustrates me so much about Google Maps and why I did start looking for other alternatives to it. So in 2024, I did some real hard researching and I came across Wilder Trips. And I was so excited by the idea because it's literally such an easy way to turn a bunch of pins that you've got on Google Maps into something that actually feels like a road trip. There is still very much a place for Google Maps. I use it for saving all the different pins I found when I'm researching a trip so that I don't lose them. I can share it easily with Michael if there's any places that he wants to add in. Like, it's really friendly in that way. But I found something so much better for actually planning the road trips and making it feel like a road trip. So this is Wilder Trips. I've been using it for a few years now and it's honestly a game changer. As soon as we realised in the US that we'd messed up and I had an old screenshot of an Excel sheet that hadn't been updated, in my mind it was just like, why didn't I have Wilder Trips for this? It's safe to say I've learned my lesson. So the website is super user friendly, which is great because I am not tech savvy at all. One of the things I really love about the website is if you know you want to go on a road trip but you're not sure where, you can click on road trips and they literally have free itineraries for you. You've got Canada, England, France, Ireland, Scotland, Spain. It's crazy. And you can just click on them and then you've got information about the trip, some information about Canada and Alberta and British Columbia. It's amazing. Go and have a look at all the road trips and then tell me that you don't want to immediately go on a road trip to Canada. Anyway, I'm here to tell you how I did my NC500 trip. Once you've set up an account with Wilder Trips, whether it be free or premium, you get a little profile and you can access that in the top right. So when you come to your profile, it looks like this. You'll have the trips that you've planned and then you can add in a new trip. So we'll do new trip and we'll do Inverness. And we're going to put it into Stirling because we're in the UK. You can avoid certain roads like tolls and motorways. I'm not too fussed about that at the moment, particularly when I do like a French road trip. I will turn it on just so that we're not having to pay for the French tolls because we don't mind going a little bit out of our way to skip around those. And then you can create a new trip. Once you've done it, it'll take you to the bit of the map that you've obviously asked it to be in. We're in Inverness because that's where the NC500 starts and finishes. And you can see on the top left here that we've got the name. So it's just called Inverness currently, but you can rename it to anything so that you've got the name there and you know which trip it is. You can also change the dates as well. If you know you're going for a particular date range, you can just change it and just make sure that it then cuts it down to 6 days rather than 8 days. So this bit here is like a trip summary. It's really smart. It's got how many days you've got so that you know you can spread out your time evenly, number of stops, miles, hours that you'll be driving, countries you'll be going through if you're doing like a really cool Europe trip or something, and then the cost. You don't have to have the cost on. I do because I love doing these trips on as much of a budget as possible. So ideally, I want to know how much I'm getting in for before I start anything. And it's a good way to winnow down when I've got a really adventurous trip in mind, but maybe it's not financially the best decision right now. If you didn't want the costs on, you can just simply go to settings, and here you can change the map style, but you can also just turn off calculate trip costs. If you did want a more accurate look at the cost of the trip, you can put in your fuel cost input and then your price per litre and your average miles per gallon as well. So in true Blue Peter style, here is one I made earlier. This is our actual NC500 route that we drove. We've got everything on here from collecting the vehicle to dropping it off to doing the actual route itself. You can see that we've got our name, our dates, and then our trip summary on the left-hand side, as well as if you scroll down on the left, you can then see the breakdown day by day of each activity we did. If you're wondering how I put all these pins into Wilder Trips, it's really simple. I get 2 tabs up on my computer. One of them's Google Maps, one of them's Wilder Trips, and I literally just type in a Google Maps place onto Wilder Trips and it comes up. So I know that we're going to be staying at Ken Lodge Services on the way up, and so I can search it, it finds it, and you can just click it into the day and there it is. If you want to be a little bit more specific about it, you can see that Wilder Trips has suggested that it's probably going to be somewhere to eat because it's a services with the little icon next to number 2. What you can do is you can click into it and it brings a little drop down and you can change it to an overnight. So you've got a whole little selection. You've got overnight, outdoor activities, places of interest, fuel, food and drink, and then just the regular default. I really like this for being able to visualise how far we've got between points before we start. So if we have a look at the actual NC500 route, because that's what everyone's interested in, let's be honest. So if we zoom in, the route actually starts at Inverness Castle. So you can either search Inverness Castle and it'll obviously bring you to the castle itself, or if you want to be really, really specific about it, you can actually click on the map and it'll start a new pin. So I wouldn't know to search 81 Castle Street, but because I've looked at it on Google Maps, I can see there's a little parking bit that we should be able to chuck the van in. So I know that I'm looking for that location, which is great. So once you've done that, we can put it in, and we'll put it in as a place of interest, and we're going to chuck it into day 2 and add it to the trip. I'm just going to drag it up to the top and then take Inverness out. But as you can see, it just says 81 Castle Street, and that means nothing. So what you can also do is go in and give it a little custom name. I'm going to put in parking next to Inverness Castle. What is really nice is that if I wanted to give, say, Michael some more information, he doesn't know what the plan is, he's just turning up and driving, I could give him some notes and say that it's maximum 10 minutes parking, and that's there. Then if you want to share the trip with anyone, they've got notes in there so they can be on the same wavelength as you. And it means that you can get a much more detailed look at your trip. It also gives you a little icon to show you which ones have got notes on so that you don't miss them, which is really great, because I know that I definitely wouldn't click through every single stop to see which ones have notes on. Like, nobody's got time for that. So this is our actual NC500 route. I based it off a little pocket map that you can buy with lots of things to do, places to eat, places to see, places to sleep. It's really, really great. One of the reasons that I like being quite specific with pins is that it means the trip information you get is a lot more detailed. So as you can see at the top of day 2, we've got a summary of the miles driven, how much it's going to approximately cost us in fuel, and how long we're going to approximately be on the road for. Obviously, Wilder Trips can't take into account things like traffic and delays and road closures and things like that. So again, this is where I kind of use Google Maps So you can see on our first day, we headed from Inverness up the east coast here, and we stayed here at this salmon bothy. Again, this is somewhere that I found on Park for Night really easily by just zooming in and going, okay, we want to stay about here. And this is actually the place that we stayed at. Put it into the description, just so that, again, we can just go back to it and we've always got a copy of where it is. The other benefit of having the cost summary is that you can put in how much it's going to charge you. So as you can see currently, the trip cost is £356 for us to go there and back, not including the van rental. We can add in the £7 and then it updates. It's taken that park up consideration into our final trip costs, which again is really useful for making sure that it's actually a trip that we can afford. One of my other favourite things about this is that originally we had visiting the Karlsruhe Bridge as something we were going to do on the 12th. So we were planning to be done with that region before we then came down further west. In theory, that was great. In practice, we got there, it was rainy, it was windy, we were tired, we were hungry, we were miserable. We just wanted to get to our park up. So what we can really easily do is go, okay, well, it's about an 18-minute drive to the park up. That's not too bad. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drag it and drop it into the next day so that we can update our route. We can still go, but it means that we don't lose anything. So we haven't lost any of our pins. It's still in there and we can just see that it really easily fits in. Like sometimes there just isn't time and it just isn't practical to go back, and that's a real shame. So again, with our park up for this night, it doesn't always find everything, but again, we could zoom in, go, okay, we know that we're going to be near this lock, we know we're going to be along this road, we can just zoom in, oh, that's where it is on Google Maps, I'm just going to drop a pin there, I can add it to the day I want it on, and then bish bash bosh. One of the other really nice things is that if you aren't restricted by annual leave, you can make this as flexible as you want it to be, but you can add in as many days as you want. It's really simple. You can just click the 3 little dots on one of the days, insert it before or after, or if you wanted to, you could even remove a day, and then it would just remove the stops as well. So what I'd suggest if you are removing days is just to drag the stops up. I know that the idea of having to go from Google Maps where you've got all your pins to Wilder Trips where you can see how it all fits together back to Google Maps can seem really, really tiresome, but there's actually a feature that I'm so excited about that I haven't actually gotten to use yet, where if you click on the 3 dots of a day and you can see this little thing that says navigate, you click on navigate, you can send it to Google Maps and then it just shows you the route and it actually shows you real time. So if you are planning day by day as you go, you've got it. You can just chuck it back into Google Maps and it'll sort it out for you. And you can see that it literally stops at all the little places that I'd had it in for. So lastly, if you're wanting to share your trip, whether it be with friends, family, the person you're road tripping with, the group you're road tripping with, you can share it in the top left here. Again, it's really simple. Just make sure share your trip is toggled on and then you've literally got a link that you can just copy and paste to anyone, as well as some inbuilt options. A couple of safety bits that I really enjoy is that you can toggle on whether or not people see the dates on the trip, and then when you send the link you can also send it with a passcode, so you can just set a passcode, pop one in there, and then people can only access your route if they have a passcode. As a woman who travels, I appreciate that feature. That's it. I hope you've really enjoyed seeing how I use Wilder Trips alongside Google Maps to plan my road trip adventures, and I really hope this has inspired you to have some of your own. I'll drop a link in the description below for Wilder Trips so you can check it out. Don't feel like you need to get a premium account straight away. I know that I started with the free account, trial it out, made sure it worked for me before I upgraded, and you can do the same. I'll also put a little discount code in the description as well if you did want to upgrade to premium. Any way that you can support me and my channel is greatly appreciated, and it means that I can keep going on adventures and keep inspiring you to go on adventures. As always, thank you so much for watching. It means the absolute world to me, and I'm wishing you good vibes and great adventures. See you next time!